Hi friends, Merly here, and welcome back to Gardening in Kentucky YouTube channel. I came here to my grow station and I decided to um, do a live video because I have some tips that I want to share with you. So this is about seed starting. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about 8 seed starting tips for beginning gardeners. Um, so if you're like me, I'm so excited to start my garden, and I have been working on starting a lot of seeds. I have already planted probably about 1,500 seeds total so far, and I have a lot more seeds that I need to start. And a lot of people are wondering, well, when do you start planting the seeds? um, how do you know when it is time to plant the seeds? Well, the answer to that is it depends on the type of plant that you are growing. Um, so we have like the dates, the right timing, and some other things that we need to consider. Okay, so let's start with tip number one. Tip number one for seed starting is know your frost dates. So I am growing a garden in Zone 7, Kentucky, and my last frost date is about mid-April. Um, it varies like from April 11th to through the 24th, depending on depending on the season. But this year, my last frost date is April 21st. So but then we know that there are like some late frosts that might happen. But yeah, last frost date for me is April 21st. But usually I don't plant outdoor until after like May, first week of May. So anyway, it's very important that you know your frost dates. Second tip, choose the right seeds. So depending on where you are growing your garden, select a variety that is suitable for your growing season. So I am in zone 7A. So I pick like shorter growing season variety. And so let's say for example, well, I can grow tomatoes, peppers, and stuff like that. But like chayote squash, for me to be able to harvest chayote from my plant, I have to start the chayote squash in December. So, like, whenever I put them in the ground in my garden, my chayote squash needs to be already big enough. And that's for me, it's hard. And there are some other plants that I cannot grow because of my short growing season. Tip number three, timing is the key. So earlier I mentioned about timing, and timing depends on the plant. So for example, peppers. Oh, okay. Let me grab this one. Look at this beautiful purple cayenne pepper. I have actually a bunch of different pepper types here. And this one I'm so excited about. This is fireworks. And there's another one, also colorful. I can't find it, but it's called fire. Oh, it's right here. So this is, yeah, fireworks pepper, firecracker pepper. The peppers usually need to be started about 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost date. Okay, so this is very exciting because I started my first tray of peppers on February 24th. So 18 days ago. And okay, let's walk over here so you can see my peppers. Isn't that amazing? Now, these are the jalapeno peppers, and these were started on February 24th. They're looking good. Now, I think 8 to 10 days after this sprouted, I started this one. So this is like over a week old. You can tell they're still small. Now, these are the sweet banana peppers. And you can tell the difference between like about a week difference in planting dates, and like see how small this is. So that's why timing is very important, because you want your plants to be big enough to be planted outside. Like you don't want to be planting this little pepper seedlings in your garden. Now these are actually still too small to get outside, but as you can see here, actually I'm seeing at least a couple of true leaves in these plants. Now, here in a few days, these plants need to be transplanted in bigger containers, because this is a 72 cell tray and it is too small for this many pepper seedlings. So just bear in mind that peppers need to be planted 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost date. And then this one right here, well, I just started this like 3 days ago, and these are tomatoes. Mostly heirloom tomatoes. They have not sprouted yet. We have San Marzano, Ferdel, cream sausage, Opalka, Kellogg's breakfast, and Brandywine pink in this tray. And then we have, okay, so this one right here, these are all beefsteak tomatoes. You might be wondering, why do you have so many kinds of tomatoes? In the past, I've been growing like different kinds of tomato seedlings, and I just like experimenting on them. Now, most of these tomatoes I have grown in my garden. Now, these ones right here, most of these are the new varieties for me, like the Kellogg's breakfast. I've planted brandywine before, but I wasn't successful, so I'm trying it again. But basically, San Marzano is a staple, but I'll probably just plant a couple of this. But I have so many because I'm planning on doing a plant sale this year, hopefully, on the first week of May, if this will go well. And then here we have a bunch of these are herbs. We have cilantro. I have three kinds of basil in here. We have rosemary, lavender. What else do we have? Parsley, sage, thyme, peppermint. So they're all in here. These three trays are the herbs. And then, oh, I'm gonna show you another one in here. This one's covered, and this is the third tray of peppers, and these are the habaneros. Oh, and also I have eggplants in here. I like using the humidity dome when I start my seeds, because they keep the top of the potting soil, or not potting soil, but seed starting mix moist, so that the seeds will germinate faster. Um, so yeah, the hopefully by probably by like next week we can see some sprouts in here. Well, actually, with that basil, I've seen like a couple of them started sprouting somewhere right here. It's not very clear. There's one right here, but here in a couple of days they should be bigger because they grow really fast. Okay, so that was step number or tip number 3. Okay, let's have tip number 4. And our tip number 4 is use quality seed starting mix. The seed starting mix that I use, well, I use I've used a Jiffy seed starting mix, but they're a little bit more expensive now. They used to be like $5 a bag. I'll show you the bag. I have it in here. This one. It says organic seed starting mix made by Jiffy. But this one right now is like, I don't know, almost $8 for this bag. The bag is big, but the content is probably just a quarter of this bag. It's not that much. It's kind of like the bag of chips that you can buy right now. Probably like a quarter of that bag, but I mean, it is what it is. But then I found out that if you go to a farm supply store, the seed starting mix and the potting mixes are much cheaper. So I'll show you this one. I only have one bag here I'm in my basement right now, and this I'm using one corner for my grow station. Look at this one. Now this is called a germinating mix. Growing mixes. They have all kinds. This is used or made by a company called Burger. So look at this germinating mix. Isn't that cool? And I have planted a lot already, and I have not even used a quarter of this. This is one bale, and I paid like $33 for this thing. But this can grow 1,000 or not 1,000. I've already started 1,500 seeds, but this can grow a lot of seeds. So if you are a backyard gardener and you're not growing like so many things, this will last you years. So much cheaper than buying that 12-quart bag of Jiffy seed starting mix that I showed you earlier. This is much cheaper. I bought a couple of this. BM2. I asked them because I'm not really familiar with this. This is my first time to use this one, but this one actually in terms of quality, if you can see that, but in terms of quality, this is even better than the Jiffy or the other seed starting mixes that I have found in the market. And like my first two trays here, this one, I use the Jiffy peat pellets, and this also has the Jiffy peat pellets. They're very convenient, but they're expensive. Like $12 for this tray is a bit too much. If your purpose is just for, backyard gardening, just grow for your own food, for your own, if you like to grow vegetables or flowers, this is fine. But if you are growing plants to sell, or like if you are growing a market garden, starting with the Jiffy peat pellets is really expensive. So, um, yeah, good starting mix. Don't just dig some dirt from your backyard. That's not gonna work for seed starting. It has to be lightweight. Your seed starting mix needs to be sterile and well draining. Okay, so we are now on tip number 5, and tip number 5 is provide adequate light. So, because we are growing indoor, we need to set up a grow light station, and that's what I have in here. Just a simple grow light station with a metal shelf, and then I put shop lights. So I have a couple of shop lights. So like this level here has four bulbs. Now this one has only two because we didn't get enough of this. And then I feel like I've been looking for this one, but it looks like they phased out this model already, and I couldn't find anything that I like. Now, this does cost a little bit higher than, like, if you are, I mean, you can buy those little grow light stations, but small ones like 15 to $20. They're easy. All you have to do is to plug them up. But if you are wanting to save some money and make your own, okay, I have not used this one. It's a little bit dusty, but this is, or this was the first grow light setup that I've created. I'll show you what's inside. So basically, I bought a tote, a regular tote from a big box store, and then I bought this light right here, and I put tin foil inside. Um, you can put tin foil on all the sides, or okay, I'll show you the other side here. Or you can leave one of the sides just open, transparent, so you can see what your plants look like. I actually like this better, so I tin foil in the bottom. I put tin foil on the three sides. You can also put tin foil on top so that it will reflect more light to your plant. So far this was the cheapest setup that I have found, and here soon, whenever I have more seeds started, I might need this grow light. Okay, so let's put this back in here. Oops. Okay. All right. So sorry about that. Now, it's very important that your little seedlings get enough light. Basically, we need about 2 inches, 2 inches distance between your plant or their seedling and the bulb. So you can prop them up like this. I put some egg cartons underneath them so they'll be a little bit higher and they get enough um, light so they don't get super leggy. So far, yeah, these are looking good. Look at how nice that is. This one is a little bit taller than the others, but um, yeah, and this I might have to increase the height of this one because it's a little bit farther away from the light. Okay, so adequate light is very important for little seedlings. It is good to have like 12 to 16 hours of light per day for your seedlings. Now, if you don't give them enough sunlight, they will get laggy, like their stems get so long because they will reach for the light. Because they just need, the seedlings, they need light, and then they need water, and of course a growing medium that we've provided when we plant them. Okay, tip number 6, guys, is maintain consistent moisture. So, and I just did this. I just watered my seedlings. Okay, so now it's not a good idea to like pour water on top. There was an accident earlier where I kind of like um dropped thing on here, so it's kind of splashed onto these cells. So I probably lost these plants right here, but that was, I didn't did that on purpose. It just happened. But anyway, so what I did here is, so this is my, look at that. These are the cells. I'm using 72 cells. I put the cells in, they call it like daisy tray. Basically, these are trays that have open bottoms. Let's see if I can show you what this looks like. Um, right there, see that? So that water can go through, and then I put it in another tray. And this tray here in the bottom does not have holes. So what you do is you pick this up, remove the top. You're going to pour water into the bottom tray. Put this back in there. Leave it for like about 30 minutes so the seed starting mix can absorb the water. After 30 minutes, you go ahead and you're going to pour out the excess water. You don't want your cell trays to sit in the water for a long time. So I think 30 minutes is enough, or like you have to look at the top of it, because when it has enough moisture, it's dark, and then when this is brown, it means that it has dried up. And what happens is that if the seed starting mix is dry, the seeds will not germinate good. You probably get some germination, but it's not a good germination. All right. So, tip number 7, harden off seedlings. And this is a very important step when you are growing your garden. Hardening off is like you acclimate your plants to the outdoor if you are starting your seeds indoors. So what you do is you take your plants outside, leave them outside for like a couple of hours, and then take them back inside. And very important not to put them in direct sunlight. No direct sunlight yet, because they're not used to the UV, they're not used to like all of the outdoor growing conditions. So, and then you have to gradually increase the amount of time that you expose these seedlings into the outdoor conditions. You're gonna do that, gradually increase the time over like 1 to 2 weeks. And then after that, it's safe to transplant them, which brings me to tip number 8, which is to transplant your seedlings carefully. So make sure that you don't pull the stems, because I mean you have spent a lot of time, a lot of effort to grow this seedling. So you just don't want them to snap whenever you're ready to plant. So handle them gently when transplanting. Um, so those are the 8 seed starting tips that I would like to share with you today. I hope you learned something from this video. If you have any questions, just write them in the comment down below, and I'll get back to you. Uh, and yeah, that's gonna be it. It's a little bit late. Behind me is dark. It's like past midnight already, and yeah, I'm getting ready to go to bed because I still have to wake up early tomorrow to go to work. Well, guys, and I just enjoy gardening and I like talking about gardening. All right, guys, so thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.